3 o'clock on May 19,
May 20th.
May 20th, I'm sorry, 2025. This meeting is being recorded by our local community access channel, WCAT. And first order of business is
Minutes.
to look at our minutes from last meeting. Any, wait, a motion?
I don't have any questions, I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting of May 1st, 2025.
And I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We've got a line item transfer request here from the Board of Health for $300.
Thanksgiving?
I think it's pretty straightforward, but,
I haven't read it yet.
okay, give everyone a chance to look at that.
What is this, the one? Okay, right now.
Yeah. Did you get, you
Yep.
had a chance to review it? And Jim, is that anything you wanted to weigh in about while we're reviewing it?
You know, it's something unfortunate that, I believe they had a few, extra, requests with regards to, some testing that needed to be, looked at, and, they're short a little bit, in the account, by $300.
Yeah.
They've been talking about this for quite some time, haven't they?
Have they?
I don't watch the meeting, so I have no idea.
You know, I think, and maybe they mentioned it at the Board of Health meetings, you know.
Yeah.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the line item transfer for the Board of Health from the landfill supply account to the rabies line account for $300.
A second.
All right. Nation's Bowen seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed.
Is that the original
That's the
one?
original, I think, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can have that.
It is, I was just marking 519, and I marked it on the correct line because
Yeah, I know,
we did the
I know,
wrong
I did the wrong
lines.
line last time. Sorry.
$300, don't worry about it. And so,
First time's a novice, second
Yep,
time you're an
that's
expert, so
initial,
we'll
then,
get it, we'll
yep,
get it right.
then you need to initial and sign, and she just needs
Yeah.
to initial, and then you can give it to Jim.
All right. I got it.
Selectmen will be reviewing it on Thursday.
Right,
Okay.
and then copy
Right, that was
goes
theirs,
to,
this is
The
ours.
department
the
and
original goes to the
town accountant.
town, and copy to the department.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now,
Some special town meeting articles.
look like two of them, Jim,
Yes.
Yeah.
numbers 4 and 5.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
Okay, Jim.
So, Article 4 is for an item that wasn't budgeted in, for fiscal year '25, and that is for our annual website hosting agreement that we have with Civic Plus. And the bill is set to come out this month, and the bill is anticipated to be $3,680.61. So it's asking to do a transfer from legal expenses to selectmen information technology line to pay for the town's annual website hosting fee to Civic Plus.
Isn't that a little odd that that wasn't included in the budget?
It is something that probably slipped, through the cracks, given the fact that last year, the invoice was paid as a prior year bill. I'm not sure what arrangement is made for getting the invoices, whether they come by mail or email. I'm not 100% sure.
but still should be in the budget. You know, that should be, just like the light bills, the phone bills, or whatever, this is a yearly bill, it should be included.
Jim, do you know how much we currently have in legal? Or just an
We,
approximate?
an approximate, I would say somewhere around 50 to 55,000.
Okay, so there's plenty of money there, so. Okay,
We owe it, we have to pay it. That's what I feel.
yeah, I know, so I'll make a motion that we approve Article 4, or that we recommend Article 4 to the town meeting.
I will second that.
Any other discussion? And call for a vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Okay,
Thank you.
today is the 20th. So Article 5,
Yep, so Article 5 is a standard article. We, at last town meeting, obviously, we have a standard article at the annual saying that any pro rata share of the town's transportation in excess of the state aid reimbursement on transportation that the town will get back, or will be, the assessment will be reduced. So in fiscal year 25, we're looking to get back approximately $139,917.99 for fiscal year 24 state aid transportation and excess reimbursement, within which was in accordance to the vote that was taken at the ATM last June.
I'll make a motion to recommend to reduce the amount of the Quabog's Regional District Assessment for transportation reimbursement.
I second that.
okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed?
Okay, and then,
I will also mention that there was a discussion with the sewer department about an article. And I had, initially, when I went to the sewer commissioners meeting a few weeks ago, I initially had suggested to Ralph that he look into placing an article at the special with regards to the scum pump replacement project that's currently out to bid. However, the bids are not going to be due back for that project until the beginning of June. And so, because the bids are not due back till the beginning of June, we won't know the total potential contract amount. We don't know, who's gonna be awarded that. And we won't have really an executed contract, and the work won't be started until fiscal year 26. So I suggested to him, based upon that further analysis, that he revisits this in the November meeting, because this really should have been an article for the annual town meeting.
so where's he gonna pay it from if it's more than what that they allowed, where is he gonna pay it from?
So he's going to have to put an article on in November.
Right, but how is he gonna pay the bill? If they get the project done in September, they're gonna hold
No,
off.
no, they can't enter into a contract.
So the
So
contract won't be till November,
the contract will not be until November.
And this is to fix what?
the scum
The
pump.
the scum pump. So, the scum pump, he's working with Ty and Bond on the procurement side of things. They're estimating that that project's gonna cost somewhere around $180,000. He's got a portion of that money, plus he's got a portion to pay for the procurement costs for that. So he doesn't have enough to complete the entire project. So what I suggested to him is that you know, because bids are not coming back until the beginning of June, that he notifies Ty and Bond and whoever the successful bidder is, that, hey, look at, you know, will you hold your bid until November? Because we won't be able to get into a contract with you because we won't have funds available to pay you until November. So he's anticipating doing that, and then also, you know, putting an article on in November and taking the balance out of retained earnings to address this.
How much of the 180 does he have?
He probably has somewhere around half of that.
Okay.
That's all? Wasn't there two amounts for that?
Well, he's gotta also pay for the procurement as well, which is costly to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to come out there, you could take it out of his expense account and put
Yeah.
something else in there too.
Yeah, I don't, you know,
I was trying to remember, because there were two articles, right?
right.
So that's FYI.
So I just wanted to let you guys know of that, just in case, you know, if there's any, you know, Ralph was pretty much agreeable to that. I know that one of the sewer commissioners was like, well, just put it on anyways. You can't do that because it's a project that's not gonna happen until '26. You know, if I felt that we could start the project in June, we could have a signed contract in June, and maybe just a couple weeks' worth of work in July, then maybe, but this project will not be, this is really a '26 project.
But he still could reserve it. He could still reserve it.
Well, I mean, I just wanna caution you by saying that, because of the fact that when reserving it, okay, I don't know if he's gonna have a contract signed. I don't know if he's gonna have a notice of an award ready by June 30th. So
It-
there's a lot of work that needs
I
to be done
understand, but what I'm
before
saying-
we can
No, but
reserve money.
No, because the thing is, if it's 220,000, and he needs 130, if he's got money, he can reserve it. He can vote on it and just be reserved on the balance sheet, but that's fine.
Well, we don't know what the bids are gonna be. So the problem is that this warrant is gonna close,
I know.
and then the bids are coming back after the warrant. So if we knew a little bit better, and, you know, if we had all the ducks in a row, we probably could. But theoretically, you're supposed to have a signed contract, and the work should be started before June 30th. And we're not gonna be able to meet that deadline.
This is,
Yeah.
but that would be an article, and an article's different from, that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
It would be a reserve for that purpose, just like the fire truck sitting out there.
Set aside for other projects, yeah,
Right, the fire truck sitting out there
so.
Mhm.
in the
It's-
general fund.
Well, that's a stabilization account.
It's a moot point for our meeting today, so.
Yeah.
we'll-
I
I'll
just
tell you
wanna-
after.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I just wanted to let the board know that, you know, that was what I had
On the-
suggested to him.
On the horizon for
Yeah.
future
Okay.
consideration.
All right, so the other one is this Article 31, to me, which I said before, I think is a moot issue. You don't have it.
Oh.
This is the one we talked about before.
Yeah.
Do you have, it was on this is for,
This is for the town meeting, for the
For
annual?
For the annual meeting.
yes, the
Yeah.
annual meeting, and it would be Article 31. Because we talked about it at the last meeting, but you got another annual?
She's probably got an old version of
Yeah,
it.
it's got another, what's this? That's special?
Yeah.
What's it?
Board of Assessors.
Okay, well, I'll read it anyways. Article 31, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $88,485 as an additional above minimum contribution to the Quabog Regional School District. This is one that I personally think that it's a moot issue, but since it's
Can I see
there.
that again?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
It's, to me, we took the vote on the omnibus budget. It was a 3-to-1 vote.
Yep.
Our vote says, no, we're not in favor of this.
Right.
That's why I think it's a moot issue, but since it's there, the selectmen wanted it on.
The selectmen wanted it on, just a quick history on that, or partial brief history at least. In order to meet the Massachusetts rules for presenting regional district budgets to the municipalities, according to the rules, you're supposed to present the request, the voted on budget.
That's what Quabog says.
That, no, I
That's not what
understand.
town council says.
No, I understand. You didn't let me finish, Madeline. Let me finish. There's conflicting legal opinions about this. DESI and the school system, of course, are gonna represent
Crap, I'm
that,
sorry,
that's a rule put forth in Jim, help me out here. What's the mass, is it MSR code?
Oh, right.
Yeah, and while that's a legitimate perspective, there's contrary perspective that we don't have to do that. So this was a way for the selectmen to allow for that. Technically, the school committee's voted budget is now being presented to the town. So that's why that article ended up on there. I personally don't like that. While it may meet some technical legal requirements, I don't think it was an appropriate way to go about it, but my opinion about it doesn't matter. It's here before us now, and so
So why did the selectmen want this on there? I didn't see the selectmen's meeting, so.
Well, that's what Mr. Duff had explained to the selectmen, you know.
it was to,
No, I understand that. I
Yeah.
didn't know what the selectmen had said. They said, oh, we agree with you and we're gonna put it on.
They agreed with Mr. Duff's analysis.
that it would be allowed,
Okay.
yeah.
So can I see that back again? I make a motion not to recommend Article 31 to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $88,485 for above minimum for Quabog Regional School District.
Do they know what they're getting at from the state?
I don't think so.
So that's where this whole thing has come into play.
Yeah, it's a way for the town to be able to say the Quabog Regional School Committee's requested but voted budget was presented to town meeting. Again, like I said, it's, in my opinion, it's a poor way to present the budget. But I guess the thinking was that it would legally accommodate that being presented to the town. So then the school wouldn't be able to say that any vote that gets taken aside from this article is illegitimate, and that's the position they would take.
Well, good.
I understand, I'm not arguing that.
I just think it's wrong, and that's just,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not changing.
Right.
Because I don't care what he says.
Right,
We voted, we looked at their budget, and we cut it.
right.
And that's
So-
what we have the authority to do.
I don't disagree with you, Madeline, I'm just saying this was a way to
But I don't think the
accommodate that.
I'm not worried about the legality.
Yeah.
The legality to me doesn't mean anything. That's why my opinions, I think it's an issue.
Okay,
There, you have my, motion.
okay.
Do we have to put anything down on
We're
this?
gonna vote to, not to recommend. That's
Well,
my
there's
motion.
a motion's been made to not recommend
Recommend.
this article.
Right, to me, I think it's a moot issue, because we've already voted the budget less that,
Right, right.
okay? I'm not gonna vote to recommend this,
Right.
because then we're gonna give them everything that they asked for.
Original.
And supposedly, that's what Steve had said, if they get more in transportation, they'll pass over this article.
Right.
But you won't know that till probably just before town meeting.
Yeah. And we may not even know that, depends on what the state does. So I'll second that motion. Any other discussion about it? All right, hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say no. No.
You voted no.
I voted no.
Everybody voted
No, we
no.
voted
Wait,
yes.
We voted not to recommend.
Right, he's
But
voted,
the
there's
vote-
three,
But the vote's 3-1.
3-1, he's
Yeah.
voting no on it.
Right.
We're voting not to do it,
I
the
got
three
it,
of us.
I got it.
You got it, okay. All right then, next meeting will be the special town meeting on June 12th, correct?
Mhm.
At
So-
6 PM.
6 PM, so we'll meet with with Jeff. Jeff is gonna be, with us for the meeting, and he'll go over the warrant with you and with the selectmen. I do also want to bring up, a slight change, to the format, to how, the moderator is proposing to conduct the meeting this year. And what he's proposing, after him talking with the town clerk, is, he's going to read all the motions, and he's going to ask, probably the selectmen, to, second, the motions, to second in the motions, and go through the warrant that way, with the notion that if there is a question, or if there's need for further explanation, that the department heads would be there, to answer those, questions if they come up on a particular article. His thought behind it is that, other communities do this, and that, it moves town meeting, along. So that's what he's proposing this year. So it would be a little bit different of a format, instead of having departments come up and read their articles and get to the mic and then go sit down, and other departments come up. He will read all the motions from the podium.
Okay, so that's just information, I'll talk to you
Yep.
outside the meeting in regards to that some more. So, June 12th, 6 PM at Quabog Regional School District, High School.
Okay, I got another, are we done with that one?
Yeah,
Okay, so, line item transfers go through July 15th. I don't have any plans, I prefer not to come back. July 10th would be the last selectmen's meeting.
The selectmen have a schedule, let me take a look. So I can tell you that they changed their summer schedule.
No, I know, but I understand, but if there's one, we
It's
have
the-
to make
so it
a
would be the
decision.
12th. It would be the 12th
That-
then.
Let's see
Selectmen's meeting.
here,
July,
selectmen.
I said,
Oh, I apologize,
yes.
yeah, so.
Because that's
12th.
open to the 15th, but the
Yeah.
15th is a Tuesday, and I know the selectmen don't meet till
Yeah, the
Thursday.
selectmen will be meeting on July 10th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm just mentioning it to you, because I know Karen's always gone here and there, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
if you're gonna be around or
As
not.
of right now, July 10th, I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
So, because
Okay,
I don't have to drive down just for that, I prefer not to.
sure.
If there's any left line item transfers, I
Okay.
would think by now, because you asked for a special, there was no more for the special that came.
Yeah, I sent out an email earlier this week, so,
Okay.
So
Okay,
I'm just saying there's a
Keep that in mind.
possibility.
earlier last week, I should say.
yeah,
On the 10th, because they have to do it, and it has to be voted before the 15th. We could meet the 15th and say, okay, we vote on it, but they have to vote on the 10th, because it
Right.
has to be done by the 15th.
sure,
That's
Okay.
another thing that I have.
all right. Anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 3:25.
I'll second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.